Hello everyone. I will be taking the blood sample now for the genetic testing. Hello young fellow, relax. You will only feel a small prick.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Chromosome. I'd like to talk to you about a research study my team and I are conducting. The goal is to understand the genetic cause of your son's illness. To do this, we'll perform a genetic test that examines all his genes. This might help us identify a specific change in his DNA that's causing his condition.
Genes? I'm not sure I understand. What are they?
Alright, let me explain what genes are and how they make up our body.
Hello, I'm Enzyme. I'm the cells engineer. I'll put one here. Another here. There we are. Not very strong. Oh, I've an idea.
These are the genes that carry our information. If there is a defect in any, this can result in a disease.
There. Now, isn't that clever?
The genes have become chromosomes. They will become the nucleus of the cell.
Hey, what's going on in here? Get cracking, you lazy chromosomes. Get to work at once.
The journey from gene to protein is complex and tightly controlled.
There you are.
And all that happens in one of our cells, in one of our 60,000 million cells. The bones, the nerves and the muscles, the heart and the brain are all composed of cells, each one an independent living organism which breathes, produces energy, feeds itself, and reproduces itself.
Now each cell in the human body has 23 pairs of chromosomes. A child inherits half from the mother and the other half from the father.
So, Mrs. Chromosome, in this study we are analyzing all the genes of an individual using whole genome sequencing to search for clinically relevant mutations. We will then monitor the patient's disease progression over a period of 2 years. This study will help us understanding your son's disease better, and the test will be done at no additional cost to you. Can you believe it?
Okay, doctor, now I understand. I think this might be a good opportunity to help my son. Alright then, I will enroll him in this study.
Great. Here is the consent form for you to sign. I need a guardian signature to proceed.
Oh, no. I must stop you right there, doctor.
And who are you?
I am the IRB judge, and I am here to ensure the ethical conduct of research. Well, you have explained your research objectives and potential benefits, but you have not properly addressed the risks involved. You have also failed to fully apply the ethical principle of beneficence. And what about respect for persons? You have withheld important information that participants need to make an informed decision. You must also emphasize autonomy and confidentiality. These are vital components of ethical research. I will be closely monitoring you.
Oh, yes, I understand. I will address this immediately. Sorry about that. I want to clarify that the study is directed by the Department of Human Genetics and the potential risks are minimal. We will only take a blood sample from your son by inserting a small needle into his vein. He may experience slight discomfort where the needle is inserted, as well as a small risk of bruising, infection, or fainting.
Okay, like a regular blood test, you mean? Plus, doctor, will I be able to get the results from the test?
Yes. The clinical results from this research will be shared with you once they are available. However, it's important to note that there is no set timeline for when the results will be ready.
Doctor, is there anything else I need to do? And what if I change my mind about participating?
Participation in this research study is completely voluntary. Refusing to participate will not result in any penalties or loss of benefits for your son while he is in the hospital. You can withdraw from the study at any time without consequences.
You know, doctor, I am concerned a little bit about exposing my son's identity throughout this study.
I understand your concern, and I assure you that all information will be stored securely and included in research databases anonymously. While confidentiality cannot be guaranteed entirely, investigators will not release any clinical test results without your written consent. You can also choose whether to allow the use of your son's sample with identifying information removed for future studies with or without being contacted.
Okay, doctor, thank you for explaining everything clearly. I will think about it and get back to you later.
Didn't you forget something?
No?
When analyzing and reviewing the genetic data, there is a possibility of detecting abnormalities that were not the focus of the study. These are called incidental findings. Based on international recommendations, some of these findings are considered actionable findings because they are linked to treatable diseases if detected early. Reporting these variants can benefit the patient's family. The study should include a plan for managing such findings, and a clear statement must be included in the consent form regarding this matter. A qualified person should inform the family if an incidental finding is identified, but only if they have agreed to be informed. One should carefully consider 4 important factors for the return of incidental findings and individual research results. These factors are, first of all, clarifying. Define the criteria for determining which findings are returnable. Findings must be analytically valid and comply with applicable laws. Additionally, participants must provide consent to receive this information. Second, analyzing. Evaluate each finding to determine whether it should be disclosed to the individual participant. Third, re-identifying. Identify the contributors associated with the finding. This process can be challenging and depends on who holds the de-identification key. Fourth, recontacting. Reach out to the contributors to share the finding or provide appropriate counseling. This step involves answering key questions such as: who should communicate the finding? To whom should the findings be communicated? And how should this information be conveyed?
Why are you making such a big deal about the consenting process for this genetic study?
One must be very cautious with ethics in genetic research. Several factors need to be considered. For instance, genetic testing can reveal a strong predisposition to a future disease, which may impact the psychological well-being of the individual and raise concerns about stigma or discrimination. Second, genetic testing can uncover non-paternity or consanguinity, which may have unintended consequences for family dynamics. Genetic information obtained from one individual may inadvertently reveal details about their relatives who might not have consented to the study. This is because related individuals share significant portions of their DNA. And finally, genetic testing can reveal characteristics of ancestry that may conflict with an individual's family history. Such findings could even influence a person's decision about having children. One additional note. Research on stored biological samples allows researchers to conduct studies long after subjects have completed all research procedures. The primary ethical challenges posed by the research use of biospecimens arise due to the separation in time and place between the acquisition of the sample and its use in research. If biospecimens or data cannot be identified to an individual, the research is not considered human subject research and does not need IRB oversight. However, if they are identifiable, it is classified as human subject research requiring IRB review. Broad consent allows for the future use of identifiable biospecimens if ethical requirements are met.
Whether scientifically founded or not, our inherited gene sequences are often considered central to our health and behavior. This suggests that a control of genes confers great power that can be used or misused. This concept is termed genetic determinism. Finally, as Dr. Jeffrey Botkin once said, for those who believe the job of IRBs is to parse federal law and give thumbs up or down to individual projects, the genomic science revolution is likely a source of great consternation. The law barely contemplates that revolution. For those who regard IRBs as a grand exercise in applied ethics, then whole genome sequencing offers exciting obligations to explore the protection of subjects in highly probabilistic sciences posing novel and complex new risks.